Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Boggs fan, back with another top 10 PSA vintage baseball card sales on eBay, this time for the month of December 2021, wrapping up the year. As I have been doing, I have a separate top 10 list for cards from the 1950s, then a separate list for cards from the 1960s, and then finally one for cards of the 1970s. As is usually the case, cards from the 1950s, this month's top 10 is dominated by cards of two players. In the 1960s, we have some interesting sales comparisons versus similar cards that sold back in November. And then for the 1970s, I'm really enjoying the top 10 list from the 1970s because that seems to have the most diversity from any given month. And this month is somewhat unique in terms of some very low pop cards that were sold in December and for some pretty good money. So let's get right to the list here. I'm going to start off with the top 10 from the 1950s. Coming in at number 10, we have the 1953 Topps Mickey Mantle in a very nice PSA 6. I am lucky enough to have this card. Unfortunately, it's only in a 2.5, but this really nice example of a PSA 6. It was the best offer, sold for $12,820.25. Not sure why the buyer threw out the 25 cents for the best offer, but that's what it shows what it sold for. Coming in at number 9 is a really nice 1952 Bowman Mickey Mantle in a PSA 7. I personally think this is one of the nicest, more beautiful Mickey Mantle cards out there. I do own this one. Mine's a 4.5. Again, the 7 is a really nice example, but to be honest with you, I think my 4.5 is probably overall better centered than this 7. So if I had the choice, money no object, I'd take the centering of my 4.5 over this PSA 7. But still, this really nice example. There was an auction, 3 bids, and sold for $12,855. All right, number 8, we have a 51 Bowman, Willie Mays in a PSA 4.5. Only one bidder went for $15,000. Number 7, we have the 1954 Topps Hank Aaron, really nice PSA 7. Corners must be really nice. There is some slightly off-centering left to right, but looks like great color on the card. This auction had 55 bids and final sale price was $16,200.03. Number 6, we have the 1955 Topps Roberto Clemente rookie card PSA 7. Again, it's a PSA 7, but there's some off-centering to it. There may be, looks like maybe at the top there, across the helmet, there could be some surface marks there. But overall, really nice card. This was an auction, 82 bids. Final sale price was $17,105. Number 5, we have another 51 Bowman Willie Mays rookie card. This one is a half grade higher at a PSA 5. This one had 63 bids and sold for $18,100. So you have a difference here. The 4.5 sold for $15,000 and the 5 sold for $18,100. Let's see if we can go back here. Now, again, with my collecting eye, I would take that 4.5. That one is, in my mind, centered better than this 5. Again, probably a matter of, I'm not sure of the back. Maybe one has a gum stain, one doesn't. or wax stain, I should say. Um, this one may have slightly better corners, but of course, I'd pick a well-centered card over an off-centered card every day, regardless of the grade. But this really nice example sold for just over $18,000. Right, number 4, really nice 1952 Topps Jackie Robinson PSA 5. Again, centering, very typical of 52 Topps. Even when you get the borders pretty even, you could still get, as you can see there, a slight diamond centering at the top. But overall, I can't go wrong with that 52 Topps Jackie Robinson. Just a beautiful looking card, and this is no exception here in the PSA 5. This one had a best offer, sold for $22,222. Right, number 3, we have the 1956 Topps Mickey Mantle, very popular Mickey Mantle. This one's in a PSA 8. Buy it now. Someone snagged it for $22,400. Overall, really nicely centered. I'm not sure, maybe corners prevented this from being a 9, but I don't see too much wrong with the centering. Maybe left to right a little bit, but really, really nice example of that 56 Mickey Mantle. Number 2, this is I think the third Willie Mays on the list. We have the 1952 Topps Willie Mays in a 5.5. Overall, good centering, maybe a little bit off left to right, top to bottom, on the corner there, but presents, in my mind, very well for a 52 Topps. I think Willie Mays, and maybe this is a carryover for the last couple months, I think you're starting to see in the top 10 list more Willie Mays cards, maybe than Mickey Mantle. I think a lot of vintage collectors are seeing that Willie Mays may be a little bit undervalued compared to Mickey Mantle, and there may be a narrowing of the gap. I don't think it'll ever be equal. Mantle will always stand out in terms of vintage, but I think Mays is starting to narrow the gap. This was a buy it now, sold for $25,000. And coming in number 1 for the 1950s for December, we have a 4th Willie Mays 1952 Bowman in a PSA 8. Great looking card. I love the 52 Bowman set. There are other Bowman sets I like as well, 53 color, but I just love 52 Bowman. This was an auction, only one bid, but someone wanted it at 5 cents under $30,000, $29,999.95. Interesting opening bid, but there was only one taker at that. I don't know. I didn't look at previous sales, whether that was a good purchase or not in terms of the price, but it's a PSA 8 second year Willie Mays, gorgeous looking card. All right, on to the 1960s. Coming in at number 10, we have a Pete Rose rookie card, 53 or 63 Topps, I should say, in a PSA 7. Again, I'm finding a lot of PSA 7s on eBay, different cards I'm looking at that you get, even for 7s, you could have a card fairly off-centered. Now in my mind, and I know I comment a lot on centering on these top 10 lists. That's the first thing that I really look at. So this one here, it is a 7, grades very high. The coloring looks great on it. But to me, I would probably look for a better centered card, even in a 5 or a 6. But again, it's a nice 7, best offer, $5,000. Number 9, not the best picture for the listing, but it is a 1961 Topps Roberto Clemente in a mint 9. Very sharp looking card. Again, the picture doesn't do the colors on this justice. It's a little darker. They had another photo in the listing, but it actually had too much of a glare. You couldn't even see the Pittsburgh Pirates in the image. So this was the best picture that the seller listed. It was an auction, 19 bids, sold for $5,118. Another Roberto Clemente, number 8 on the list. This is a PSA 9 as well. Auction, 37 bids, $5,200. Can't see really much wrong with that card right there. Maybe slight corner wear or something, but that looks like a really sharp 68 Topps Clemente. Coming in at number 7, we have another 68 Topps. This one is the Johnny Bench rookie card in a PSA 9. This had an auction, 35 bids. Final sale price, $5,650. Number 6, we have yet another Johnny Bench rookie card, also PSA 9. This was a buy it now for $5,999.99. I didn't write down when these two bench rookie cards sold, but for two PSA 9s, the final sale price, maybe $300, $350 off between the two. So someone got one a little bit cheaper than the other. In terms of the overall look, centering, they pretty much look the same. This one may be a little, not as well centered left to right compared to this one here that sold for less. But hey, that's a pretty good indication of where the Johnny Bench rookie cards are going for in a PSA 9. Right, coming in at number 5, we have the Jim Cott rookie card from 1960, recently elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame. This one is in a PSA 9, near perfect. Centering is really nice on that. Can't see too much wrong with it. Maybe what's preventing it from being a 10 is just a little bit better centering would have maybe made it a 10. This was the best offer at $6,500. Coming in at number 4, we have a Nolan Ryan rookie card. So we have a lot of 68 Topps in the top 10 list this month. This one is a PSA 8, and this one sold for $8,877 with 35 bids. Coming in at number 3, we have yet another 68 Topps Nolan Ryan rookie card, again in a PSA 8. 35 bids, $9,350. So you have one here at $9,350. You have the previous one at $8,877, about the same number, actually same number of bids. All right. Now, compared to there were 3 68 Topps Ryans sold in November that made the top 10 list. One of them was for $7,950. Another one was for $8,100, and another one was $8,200. So in November, the prices ranged from $7,950 to $8,200, and here we have one coming in at almost $8,900 and one over $9,350. So this is a general indication that, at least in the PSA 8, and these were all PSA 8 sales, both this month and last month. I wouldn't be surprised if further PSA 8s start approaching $10,000 if the current trend continues. So while there may be a softening of some vintage cards, at least in this example of the 68 Ryan rookie card in a PSA 8, appears to be going up in value. All right, on to number 2 from the 1960s. We have a PSA 9, 68. This top 10 is loaded with 68 Topps. 68 Topps, Mickey Mantle, PSA 9, 46 bids in the auction, sold for $9,411. Now, on to number 1 for this month. We have another 68 Topps Mickey Mantle, again in a PSA 9. This one had 48 bids and sold for $12,977. Now, this one here that made the number 1 on the list, this one sold on December 27th. The one for $9,400 sold on December 14th. So in a span of about 2 weeks, same PSA 9, not the same exact card, but the same graded card, PSA 9, one sold for $9,411, and the next one jumped all the way up to almost $13,000 in the span of 2 weeks. However, compared to last month's top 10 list, there was also a PSA 9 68 Topps Mickey Mantle that was number 2 on the list, and that sold for a best offer of $20,000. So you have a PSA 9 in November selling for $20,000. Then you have a PSA 9 at the end of December selling for $13,000. Then 2 weeks prior to that, $9,400. So from $20,000, I think someone may be overpaid there. Then it went to $9,400, then back up to about $13,000. So this PSA 9 Mickey Mantle obviously is all over the place. My guess is that, if another one comes up, who knows? Maybe you'd have to pay $11,000, $12,000 for it. Who knows if when it's up for auction? You never know what the end price is going to be. All right, so that wraps up the 1960s. Let's get to the interesting cards from the 1970s. Again, the examples here have some pretty low pops to them and is reflected in the prices. So number 10, we have, we have the 1974 Topps Hank Aaron card number 1, the home run king card in a PSA 9. 36 bids in this auction, sold for $3,219. Coming in at number 9 is the 1977 Topps Fred Lynn PSA 10, sold for $3,250. A 1977 Fred Lynn. Nothing against Fred Lynn, nothing against 77 Topps. This is driven solely by the grade PSA 10. It is a pop of 17. So I think a lot of these purchases for these cards here from the 70s have to be people going after registry lists, going after sets, trying to get some high-end grades. But yeah, $3,250 for a PSA 10 1977 Topps Fred Lynn. All right, coming in at number 8, another very low pop card. We have the 1970 Topps Mets rookies, Mike Jorgensen and Jesse Hudson. Again, on its own, probably not a card worth that much, but because it's a PSA 10, it sold for $3,375, and the pop is 2. So there's only one other PSA 10. So if you're working on 77 or 1970 Topps set, or I don't think there are any Jurgensen or Hudson player collectors out there, so it's got to be set builders, registry builders. Yep, there's only one other 10 out there. Number 7. Now, this is a set that's I love the 1978 Topps set. I personally would not pay $3,400 for a PSA 10 copy of Johnny LeMaster. Nothing against Johnny, but again, has to be registry situation. This one has a population of only 4 PSA 10s, which again brought someone willing to pay $3,400 for that card. Coming in at number 6, we have the 1975 Topps Robin Yount. Really nice PSA 9. Again, these 75s, you get a lot of diamond centering, off centering, mostly diamond centering for whatever reason. But really, really nice example of this Yount rookie card. 125 bids on this auction and sold for $3,434. Coming in at number 5. This is an interesting card for a couple reasons on the top 10 list, and you'll see. 1978 Topps Dave Parker. Again, I just love the 78 Topps, especially when you have the All-Star Shield on the card. Again, PSA 10. 10 bids at this auction, so this wasn't a buy it now. There were people going after it, multiple people going after it. 10 bids, final sale price $3,601.51. I looked up the pop of this Dave Parker, and it is a pop 11. So, yeah, not too many of the 10s are out there, but this one sold for $3,600. Number 4 on the list is a 1972 Topps Jerry Grote. Again, in the 70s, other than, you have the Robin Yount, you're seeing a lot of cards that have sold for a pretty good price, mainly on the pop. This is a mint 9, PSA 9, 34 bids in the auction, sold for $3,650. Now, the pop in a PSA 9 of this card is 13, and there are only 2 in a PSA 10. So again, someone trying to go after a really, really high-end 72 top set was willing to pay $3,650 for this 1952 Jerry Grote. Coming in at number 3. Here would be, I would think, you got the Robin Yount, you got the George Brett. This one in a PSA 9 as well. Buy it now for $3,850. This one, again, PSA 9. I see a little bit of off-center, left to right for PSA 9. Not sure for the price of a PSA 9 whether I personally would have gone after that card, but again, that's just me. Taking a look at number 2. We have a second, and this isn't a resale. This is a different PSA number. Another PSA 10 Dave Parker came up for sale on eBay. This one was a buy it now, $4,250. Again, pop 11. So within 1 month, 2 of the 11 PSA 10s came up for sale. One for an auction. Again, let me go back and take a look at that one there. And it is a different, it is a different serial number. But that one sold for $3,600 and $600 more. I don't know. I didn't look up which sold first. I should have looked that up. But it may have been the case where someone lost out on the auction. This had 10 bids, and then someone else threw another one up there at a price $600 more, and they said, hey, I don't know if I'm ever going to get another one, and that may have led to this card being sold for $4,250. All right, the number 1 eBay sale for December for cards from the 1970s is another 1978 Topps. Again, I love it, the fact that some 78 Topps have made the top 10 list. This is a Rennie Stannett. Again, PSA 10. So this is solely driven. Sorry, any Pittsburgh fans out there, John Mangini. But obviously, this is because of the grade PSA 10. Sold for $4,600. Buy it now. Highest sold card from the baseball card from the 1970s, PSA grade for the month of December. If you enjoyed this video, would appreciate you supporting my channel and hitting that like button. If you missed my previous video, you can check it out right here. And if you're currently not subscribed and you enjoy watching videos featuring vintage and modern baseball cards, you can subscribe to my channel right here, and better yet, click that bell to be notified next time I upload a video. That's all I have for you. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.